Hey, Ronny four-wheeling at westernaustralia.com, and welcome to another cooking video. This time I'm going to do 3 easy breakfast meals. The first one being a potato bush omelette, the second one bush pancakes, really tasty ones, really old recipe I've known since I was a kid, and the last one is bush brekky wraps. So stay tuned and let's get cooking. Welcome to brekky meal number 1, and this one is the easy bush omelette. But first I need the ingredients, and there we go. So I'll run you through the ingredients real quick. Now this is mainly consisting of canned food, which makes it really easy, hence the easy name. The only 2 things you will have to chop up is the chorizo sausage and 1 onion. Onto the tin food now. We have 2 cans of baby peeled potatoes. Now these are pre-cooked in the can. Then we have your baby corn and peas. Well, you just need corn and peas. This is 5 eggs in this bottle. Oil for the pan, which we'll just pre-oil now. And utensil wise, we have a pan, egg flipper, a knife, a bowl, and some aluminium foil. So we're going to go on high heat first, and I'm using a Coleman finite gas stove. This one's really good with the wind. And the first thing we're going to cook is a chorizo sausage, along with the onion at the same time. And we're just going to cook this until it gets a nice brown texture and the onions start to go transparent. So while you're browning your chorizo and your onions, just occasionally stir to make sure it doesn't get burnt. You can then prepare your potatoes. Real technical here. And we're in the bush, so we can just pour it out here. This smells bloody delicious. We haven't eaten yet this morning. So what you want to do, you want to get all this back out into a bowl. You don't need any more oil because there's enough oil here from the chorizo sausage. And then still a high heat. Put the potatoes in. And you just want to cover one layer. So I'm not actually going to use them all. There's a few left over. And what we're going to do here is we're just going to brown them for a bit. Okay, the potatoes have been on there for a couple of minutes just to brown them up a bit. Now you don't want to get them too brown because it's going to stay on the heat for a bit, because now we're going to add all the other ingredients, and the potatoes are going to stay on the bottom, so we're not going to stir anything. So I'm now going to add our chorizo and onions back in. Just sort of evenly spread it out as best you can. Yeah, just add however many you want. I'm just going to add maybe a third of this tin. That'll do. Right, so I'm now going to add the egg to the mixture, and this is the final stage. Now what I've done is I have pre-done my eggs into a bottle with a funnel at home in the kitchen, and camping's all about being prepared and making things a lot easier. So this is a really good tip for you, and you're not going to smash your eggs on the way to camp, especially on some of those rough tracks you might be driving on. So now we just evenly throw it in, evenly spread it out. Now this is going to be one big meal. Turn the heat down a bit. This is where you need the aluminium foil to help seal the top, otherwise you're going to burn the bottom trying to cook the top of it. Going to weigh it down a bit because it's a little bit windy. and that there will help sort of seal the top of it. Okay, so it's pretty much ready to go. I have checked the bottom and it's not burnt. I do recommend not putting as many eggs as I did on top of here. Normally I do it with 3 eggs. I did it with 5 eggs this time, so it took a little bit longer to cook the top. So I really had to turn it down on low and keep the alfoil on it and just keep checking it. But it came up pretty good, so we're now going to taste test it. Alright, well I'm going to have to ask my taste testers to come back in again because we ran out of battery in our audio equipment. So the first slice all went to, well, there was no audio. But luckily, they like it so much, they want another piece. There you go, John, second one. That's going to get you going for 2 days now. There you go. Whoop, there's a bit more to come with that one. Alright, let's get these. Flies are getting pretty bad now. They obviously like it as well. So what do you guys reckon? You already tasted the first one, so.
Pretty good. That's amazing.
Next up, we're going to do some bush pancakes, and I'll give you some good tips with that too. Welcome back. This time we're going to cook bush pancakes. Now this is a recipe I've known for, well, a long time, since I was a kid. And the easy part is supposed to be easy meals. So what I'm going to show you is how to prepare it at home, but I'm going to show you that here out in the bush, and then how to put it in a bottle and place it in your refrigerator, in your vehicle, should you have one, or your cooler, and take it to camp with you and simply pour it out and make some cool pancakes. But before we do that, let's look at the ingredients. So ingredients, first we have milk, full cream milk. We're going to use half a litre of that. We've got oil, you can use vegetable oil. In this case we've got olive oil, 3 tablespoons of that. Half a can of beer, 3 eggs. That's the wet mix. Then we have the dry mix. I've got cinnamon, sugar, but cinnamon's probably better. I've got cardamom. Each of these 2 spices you need a teaspoon of table salt, half a teaspoon, and then we need 2 cups of flour, triple sifted. Also part of the dry mix, 2 teaspoons of sugar. Then we have our toppings at the end. We've got honey, or you can use maple syrup. We've got jam, brown sugar, butter, and a lemon. Thank you. Alrighty, so we're ready to do the dry mix. So always do the dry mix before you do the wet mix, and that is due to your measuring items, because if you measure the wet stuff first, the flour will stick to the measuring cup. So I don't have a teaspoon out here, so I'm just gonna, that's about half a teaspoon there. I can go in there. Cinnamon sugar, about a teaspoon. Some cardamom, about a teaspoon. And we go into the bowl. Just whisk that up first, just to mix all the dry ingredients a bit. Now remember, your sugar is supposed to go in here, but that's going to go in the wet mix because my sugar is wet. 500 mils of milk. Then we have our olive oil. Three tablespoons. Then we got the eggs. And then we whisk these ingredients together. You know what? I've got something better than this. Here we go. Cheers. I forgot about the beer. About half a beer. Rightio, now time to mix the dry mix with the wet mix to make the pancake batter. So what we're going to do, only little bits at a time, goes in while we're mixing. I've ditched the drill. I thought it was a really clever idea. it was getting too lumpy with the drill, you got to use your whisk. And that's where it helps to sift it, or sift it with a sifter. I got the last bit in now. Okay, this takes a good 5 minutes just to make sure you get all the lumps out of it. All right, we're now ready to put the mixture into a bottle. Alrighty, well the whole mixture is in this bottle now. It's about 1.2 litres worth. And what we're going to do now is let it sit here for about 15-20 minutes, just let it rest without touching it, and I'm going to put a lid on it so no flies go in it because I'm outside, and just leave the lid loose a bit. But if you're at home, just let it rest in the bowl and then pour it into your bottle. Well, it'll rest anyway on your way to camp. Alrighty, we are pretty much ready to cook this batch now. You need to preheat your pan with some oil in it. Now the first time you probably need a little bit of oil in it. There's oil in here in this mix to help it a bit, to help it not stick. But I recommend just having a spray can after every 3 pancakes. Just give it a quick spray, more oil. And here we go. Egg flipper is recommended, but if you're one of those fancy people that like flicking them around, you can do so as well. And it's actually easier to pour this out with a bottle. Side note, don't use a metal spatula on a Teflon pan. I'm doing it anyway, because that's all we got. So as you go, just flip up the edge just to check how it's going. Once it starts going a bit brown, you need to get to it and flip it over. And there you go. So when you take them off, put it on a plate, and then put another plate on top of that, and that'll keep them warm. Next one. And out of this batch, you should get at least 10 decent sized pancakes. Rightio. This is pancake number 13. We got 13 out of this batch. Now this pan's a little bit smaller than the one I'm used to at home, so we got a few more out of it. Very soon to the fun part, eating. All right, pancakes done. I've gone for butter with brown sugar and lemon. What are you going with, Brian?
Jam, a bit of sugar. Just pure honey.
Pure honey, nothing else?
Nope.
All right, let's roll them up and eat them, or fold them, or however the hell you want to do it. So what do you reckon, John?
Brilliant. Absolutely love it.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Beats the hell out of these pre-shake and bake ones, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's for sure. Can't compare them.
Yeah. So you obviously don't want to be mixing the whole thing out in the bush, because I had a lot of cleaning to do. Lucky I've got a running spring right next door. Make it at home, chuck it in your fridge, bring it out to camp. It'll be the easiest thing to do. Just pour it in the pan and off you go. But don't forget your, what do you call it, spreads, I guess. Top of the morning to you. This is the third breakfast meal, easy meal I'm going to show you. And this one is a bush brekky wrap. Simple as that. This time we're using fresh ingredients, and we're going to use 4 eggs, even though there's 6 here. Optional cheese for your wrap at the end, 4 rashers of bacon, finely chopped baby spinach, and 2 small mushrooms just chopped up into thin slices. Now you can of course prepare this at home and then bring it out in bags like I normally would, but I'll chop this out here. We also have wraps, this case using tortillas, but normal wraps are fine, and all your condiments. So let's get started. So we only lightly oiling the pan, as the bacon should do the job for it. Right, so the pan's hot enough now, and I've chucked in the mushrooms and the bacon. So I'm giving the bacon a good old cook here, so it goes a bit crispy on me. I like crispy bacon, and I find it works better with the texture of the egg that's going to go in later. Drop a bit of pepper in here, a little bit of salt. Right, so I've got the 4 eggs in now, and I'm now going to put the spinach in and just give it a bit of a stir with the knife. Right, the pan's now back up to heat, and I'm now going to pour the other contents in, and this is the final stage of the cooking. Then we need to continuously stir. So it's going to be kind of like scrambled eggs, but mixed up with all this other goodness in it. Very basic mix. I'm getting hungry. Alrighty, time to serve it up. Now this is for 4 people, but there's only 3 of us. So it's going to be enough for 1 more. Optional cheese, 1 without, 2 with. Taste testers please. It's now sauce time as well. You guys want sauce? No. No sauce? No thanks. Alright. Wrap it up however you like.
Thank you.
Good?
That's good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah?
Yes.
Good?
Absolutely.
Awesome. 3 out of 3. So if you want the actual recipes for these 3 easy meals that I've done, see them in written form. They'll be on our website, and you can find a link to that in the description below. If you want to see more cooking videos, I did another 3 easy camp meals, which you can go to just down here. And thank you very much for watching. You can subscribe here, and I hope you enjoyed watching, and you can support the creation of content like this at patreon.com/RonnyDale. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.